Your journey in forex starts here. Welcome to WarRoom Talk, the podcast that opens the door to the world of forex trading.
I started forex originally in 2021, but doing trading with money with no knowledge. Mind me, I hit that news hard now. I took that 70 up. I was looking at 3 figures. And within 2 minutes, I see zero.
Get ready for powerful stories, insider secrets, and real-world advice to take your trading to the next level.
Now, why I'm saying psychology is because as a trader, when you wake up in the morning, you don't think about meditating or focusing your mind before you go into the charts.
If you've ever wanted to dive deep into the currency market, you're in the right place.
I just turned 19 a few days ago. I'm like, I'm gonna get my MT. And I'm sitting on my bed, like no one knows in my house I'm doing, so I'm sitting on this thing and it's going up.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of WarRoom Talk. I'm your host Ravs, and today we're joined with FAYAAZ. FAYAAZ, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for taking time off.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start a little bit of your backstory, where you came from, school, and how you got into trading.
Okay, well, I'm FAYAAZ. Thanks you guys firstly for having me. I'm the owner of FGFX, and I wasn't really into trading. I actually was doing homeschooling during the period of 2016 to 2018.
Homeschooling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 2018, I jumped out of school. I jumped into boarding school to finish years.
Oh, okay.
And then COVID struck us all in 2019. I kept grinding with that, but I left boarding school. And in boarding school, I met this interesting person who I didn't know I was going to meet again in life, or I would meet again. So we kind of developed a small friendship. And 2019 passed, 2020 passed, and I got into forex with him. So he goes by the name of RICFX, and he's basically been my mentor, or one of the first mentors that got me into forex. And we jumped off actually on the point where he finished in 2019 with Ibs. Now, for most of you who don't know what that is, it's basically studying the Quran of Bahat. And when I asked him, what pushed you to become this person? He told me that he became independent at the age of 16. And at this age, he's probably about 2 years older than me. I just turned 17 now. And I'm asking him, what are you doing with life? How's it been so far? What are you doing? And he says, I've jumped into a difficult journey, but I've developed as a person. So I asked him, what do you mean by this?
Yeah.
And I tell you, he's one of the first people that I know who were with HFM that started at around 18 and made his first million at 19, I could say.
Yeah.
And he was my motivation since then. And he didn't start me with jump into forex. He told me, finish your years. And I did that. I accomplished that in 2020,
Well
starting
done.
of 2021. And that's when I started taking forex seriously. I think I was in my matric year because I left school for a year, obviously, to attend boarding school. And while I was in matric, I'm staying up almost 6 hours every night trying to understand why Euro USD is buying and GBP JPY is selling. Let me just tell you that in basic terms.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, every 500 I get from my dad in the market. And then swipe, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. And then I basically put myself towards acquiring knowledge. And the first step was obviously asking Raiz, where did he start? How did it develop? And he didn't even reply to me with words. He said, I've been waiting for this day. And he sent me a PDF. And in that PDF, he basically taught me all the beginning concepts of starting forex. But this wasn't the start for me, It was basically like I jumped into the middle, because when I started, I didn't start with knowledge. I started with money. And that used to take me towards a part where, okay, I was making a few hundreds, but greed would get the best of me because I didn't understand the market. Now, 2022 came. We were coming out of lockdown. I just finished matric. And everybody in my family is piling me with the same question.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
And at this point, no one in my family knows that I'm trading or doing anything that's related. So my parents are trying to figure out, where's this kid going every day from 7 to 9, 7 to 9? And this was basically my kickoff journey, because I had everybody around me trying to convince me that I need this degree to become the person I am. Don't get me wrong, I am studying right now,
What are
but
you studying?
financial marketing.
Financial marketing.
So I am in my second year,
No, nice.
and if I fast forward my life to now, I would probably not have started studying last year. I would rather just start forex again.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Okay.
this time, I wouldn't use capital at all for a good 2 years. I would just watch YouTube videos for almost 12 hours a day. That's my advice.
What?
YouTube. Why?
Yeah, I disagree with that.
That's my secret
No,
to
no, no, no,
profitability.
no.
So why YouTube? Because YouTube's got so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
information. You don't know what's good and what's bad.
It's dangerous making a statement like that.
It is truly correct.
Yes, there's free content, there's free YouTube videos and stuff, but you can't just say just watch YouTube videos, because you need to do your research on what channel to follow and try and stick to a specific channel. There's too many things out there, and if you just take a new trader and tell him, right, you need to watch YouTube videos, you're gonna be bombarded with a whole lot of information and learn a whole lot of wrong things that you're not supposed to be learning. You rather start with one person and learn forex correctly from the beginning than learning a whole lot of things you're not supposed to learn and then spending a whole lot of time unlearning. So if you go to YouTube, you're going to be bombarded with a whole lot of forex strategies and indicators and this and that, and you're going to system up and you're going to learn all these things. And you're going to waste 1 or 2 years of your life. And then eventually you're going to get to a point where you need to restart and go back to basics, because obviously all those things were not working. Maybe it's working, but it's up down,
Yeah,
making money, losing money.
Maybe if you have a mentor that already paid the school fees,
Yeah.
he's gonna obviously teach you from his experience of paying school fees from
Yes.
those losses. He's gonna teach you
Yes.
the best ways to probably avoid those losses. You
Yeah,
know.
what you
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
if you're jumping onto YouTube and you're watching videos, guaranteed
it's
you're gonna pay
dangerous.
those school fees.
It's
you know,
dangerous.
because you're gonna
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that takes us back to the earlier question you asked me, where I come from and what's the grounds like. So when I jumped into the forex industry in 2022, we were obviously already in a saturated area here in Johannesburg. Now, when I could say from my personal aspect that there was no real mentor that you could look up to here that could give you the teachings that you needed,
Yeah, sure.
that's what led us to YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
And reason I'm saying YouTube is because if I hadn't developed the ability to find one of the mentors that got me where I am today, who is TJR, I wouldn't have been a trader who trades with risk management, or my psychology wouldn't have been where it's at now. And I feel like that's the most important thing that traders don't understand when they are starting. You're looking for a mentor who's trying to help you make money, not trying to give you knowledge.
Yeah.
And when I found TJR, he
Yeah.
wasn't who he is right now. Let me tell you, he didn't even have this Discord community. It was 2022. I'll tell you exactly when it was. It was July. 2 mentors dropped the video. ICT dropped mentorship 2022 course. And let me tell you, no human being my age can sit through 2 hours of ICT without falling asleep.
Yeah.
That's how TJR came in. He basically modified all of those concepts, but based it around psychology. And that's what changed it for me. So in 2022, at the end of the year, people were asking me, where do I learn Forex from? And I kept telling people, I'm not learning Forex. I'm learning how to implement a daily strategy in my life that's going to help me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was failing miserably. Like you're saying, you cannot get that help from
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Because he's telling you now, for instance, this is a fair value gap or that's a order block. And now you got to go find out from someone else what that is.
Yeah. The system hopping is crazy.
It's crazy, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And this is where the beginning of 2023, I met an interesting guy. I was part of a trading community. And I met this guy named Dylan. And Dylan told me that he has a Discord community of 200 people. I should join the community and interact with the traders. So I did that every night. Now I'm pumped because the community is active. They're telling each other what they did today, what caused the losses, what caused the wins. So I privately messaged him and I told him, look here, bro, I'm a beginner trader. I'm suffering with psychology. And I could say that in life, he was my bird of luck because he came into my life and he took out the live trading and put me onto psychology. Now, why I'm saying psychology is because as a trader, when you wake up in the morning, you don't think about meditating or focusing your mind before you go into the charts. You think about what happened yesterday. Yesterday's results is an impact on today's results. And that's what most traders don't understand. And he got me to understand that if you take a loss, you're paying an expense to your company. But if you take a win, you don't think about that loss. So why would you let the loss aggravate you and not the win? And that's what flipped my whole mind on forex. So I started reading like crazy amount of books, how to deal with psychology. And this is why everyone in my company can tell you at FGFX or my community, I firmly believe in the law of attraction. If you manifest it and if you can see it in your vision,
Yeah. We believe the
you
same
are
thing.
capable
Also believe in
We
of
believe the same
developing
thing, bro.
And this I didn't learn actually from the market. I actually learned this from Conor McGregor, watching UFC growing up. If you look at Conor McGregor, he came from a poor background. He fought his way to becoming the best with that mentality. And I feel like the market's exact the same. There's 10,000 traders around you every day trying to do the same thing. But who has the patience or the control to know when to go in and when to go out?
Yeah.
And that's what we focus on in my community because I believe a profitable trader isn't a person turning money every day. I mean, I've seen traders who've taken 100 to 1 million in literally a week. But is that good for your students around you?
100,000 to a million or 100 rand to a million?
100,000.
Oh, okay. That's not those in the
You can't
comments.
just
They're
say,
gonna be like,
it's like
yeah.
100 to a million.
100 to 1 million is. I can challenge you on that one.
Yeah.
To be honest, if I didn't start Forex in 2022, it would have been like nothing for me because I started Forex originally in 2021, but doing trading with money with no knowledge. Then 2022, I traded with greed and compassion. And 2023 brought me consistency and knowledge.
Okay. So basically from what you've learned, as you say, what trade did you take that changed it for you and made you realize like, no, damn,
Okay, so my 19th birthday, this was just a year after I finished Deebs, right?
What's your age now?
I'm 20.
Okay, so last year.
The year before, I'm turning 21.
Okay.
So I just turned 19. I've got like this amount of funds. I take 15 grand all the way to 70, right?
All right.
Now I'm trading NAS at the moment. I'm
Is
not
that based off like normal trades or was it a fundamental?
It was a
thing?
day trade,
Okay.
normal trade, technical analysis, full SMC. I hit that 70K and I told myself, I'll come back tomorrow. But there was news that day. Mind me, I hit that news hard now. I took that 70 up. I was looking at 3 figures.
Oh,
And
nice.
within 2 minutes, I seen 0.
Oh, listen, I had a similar experience.
Aye, aye, aye.
And this is important for psychology. So I did a trade where Pumlan is not here, but I did a trade where I traded fundamental. Were you
I'm
there?
not live.
You were there,
Yeah.
and it went into 450,000 and profit in one candle, and I was greedy, and there was a group of guys. I used to trade live, and everybody's saying close, 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 and I was saying no, we're taking this thing to 1 million. Let's just hold. And it went 400, 450, and then it pulled back. When it pulled back, we ended up closing like 100,000 and profit or 180,000. But ever since that specific moment, it's impossible for me to hold a trade for a long period of time.
100%.
I had to change my entire trading style to become more like a scalper because I have that fear like if a trade goes like that, it's gonna pull back. So as soon as it goes into profits, I rather use a bigger lot size. When it goes into profits, I close. So that's plays a big role in psychology.
And you know,
like
it's,
like that probably affected you a lot in holding trades.
I mean, to the part where at that stage in my life, I was not trading with risk management at all, right?
Yeah.
So I would fund basically, if the trade's coming in a drawdown, you're basically stacking. And then when it's in profit now, you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there were those days where like stop loss, stop loss, stop loss. And then I was like, I was 19 at this time, right? So this happened in the week. I took it to 70. I bounced back all the way to zero. It happened to me twice that same week. I did it again. I think the Friday or the Thursday. It was PMI or PPI.
But quick question that so when you traded and you took the 15K to 70K and then you risked the entire 70K for news, and how much profit you went into?
I hit 450. And I told
Sure.
myself I'm going to hit 1 million today. That's what, exactly like you're saying. I just turned 19 a few days ago. I'm like, I'm going to get my M2 now. And I'm sitting on my bed, like no one knows in my house I'm sitting on this thing and it's going up, 450, 450, 478, 200, 100, 0.
Yes.
And I didn't learn my lesson, trust me.
Why? What happened afterwards?
3 days later, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was PMI or PPI. I threw a 10 again. 10 hit 40, I was like, okay, now I'm going to recover that money I made, plus I'm going to make a good 15 on top of it. I go up again, I hit the news. And I'm sitting now at about 110, 115. And my gut's telling me inside, close, boy. You hit your profit for today. You've made back that money you lost and you've doubled it now. And I get a message and this guy's like, bro, we're going for the high. Now I'm up 185 on that account. I close one position. I close two positions, three positions. I've secured 40K now from the 10 that I put down. Again, reversal. Takes me out, but I had that 40K. And that night I set myself down and I told myself, from today, every day I will make 2,000 Rand. If I hit 2,000, I'm done. If I take one loss, I'm done. That's how I trade every day now. I trade once a day, 4 times a week. If you feeling it on a Friday, which is probably the worst day to trade, but 4 times a week is enough for me, I feel like. Not to hurt my psychology or put me back in that state where I'm feeling like I can't go in the market again, it's going to hurt me. And that was the biggest thing I had to get over because on one end, I'm in a community where I've got 3 traders who just started trading with me, right? And these guys around me at the moment are telling me, bro, we're making money. But when I'm chilling with them, I'm the only one with a live account. You get what I'm saying? So as a trader, that affects your whole mindset. And my company wasn't FGFX at first. It was MM something. Because I was working with a guy that I thought was my best friend. And this is what I learned through Forex also. That in this game, it's going to teach you that you solely rely on the people that are with you all the time. Because I promise you, I've had a team. I'm 20 years old. I don't know what it holds for me in a few years. I would love to be part of a team. You know what I'm saying? Have someone or people around me that I can be like, bros, are we going in? Are we coming out? But when you're looking at people around you who are envying you constantly, you can't be in that circle. Because
100%.
on 1 second, you up 50K, bro looks at it, and now the nazar hits, and it's gone. So it's like, for me, I don't trade percentage or numbers. It's psychology strictly.
So like what did how do I phrase this? Okay, so you're a young guy, you're making a lot of money, like 50K, 100K, 200K. Those are big trades, and you're still living with your parents.
I am living with my
So
parents.
so what when you're showing them these profits, what are they like telling you? Are they advising you to invest your profits, or Or what did you do with all the money that you made? Or what was your biggest purchase? Or are you buying
Okay,
property?
so
or
personally, on this year, my dad's very hardworking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I was 3 years old and my dad was maybe 23. Let me tell you. And I basically grew up with my parents as they were going.
Yeah.
And my dad has always inspired me that in life, if you keep working hard, you will acquire what you need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they always pushed me for the education route. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
study, study, study. And then I found something that could give me the independency that I needed at my age before I could even get to start studying.
Yeah.
So I feel like at where I'm at right now, I have spoken to my parents and they're like, you don't need to move out. We still love you. And I'm going to keep doing that because I like how my mom cooks.
Yeah.
And if you think about it on a realistic effect, when you're making the money in the forex market, you need to be boosting the crypto market. That's what I firmly believe. Because when I look at the money that I make, all I think about is if I was born in 2010 and if I invested in Bitcoin, now I wouldn't have been here.
Mm.
And that's what I keep going with. So I work strictly on 70-30. All I'm thinking about right now is if I make a stable 40K
Yeah.
through Forex and invest 70% every month,
Yeah.
what am I going to see when I'm 30?
So what kind of crypto are you putting? So when you started making your money, what advice did your parents give you? I know you put into crypto. So you put all your money into crypto.
No, not necessarily. So I was actually, let me tell you how it started. I was working a job in 2023 December.
Yeah.
I was working retail at Blades and Triggers,
Yeah.
our national community. And then sales wasn't for me, to be honest, because I was like, I'm giving almost 11 hours of my time a day to acquire basically between 400 and 500 rand. So I set myself down and I was like, how do I tell my parents I'm leaving this job without actually telling them that I don't want to work? So I told,
At this point, you was not profitable.
oh no, 2023, I became
Okay.
profitable around March.
Okay.
So I'm basically using this job
Mm.
just to get some CV accreditation that does that.
To keep
At
your
this
parents,
point,
to keep your parents happy, like.
basically, you know what I'm saying? Because I just came out of matric the year before, and then I was basically going through finishing years, all of that stuff. So they wanted answers like, what do you have planned for yourself? Because you're gonna be 25 in a few years. And it all started with me wanting to become a lawyer. Actually, I didn't even want to do finance or marketing.
Okay.
And like I said, I was working this job. I quit same time. And my dad's like, what you gonna do now? I'm like, I'm coming to work with you. So anyways, my dad takes me in. And I've been working with my dad since I was like 14, 15. He's had me doing this, doing that. So I was already hands-on. But I took this as an advantage. Like, my dad works with a lot of accounting and numbers. So I was like, I can hop onto this and then study this while doing Forex. So that gave them that satisfaction.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell my parents or any of my friends, well, like far friends, that I was doing Forex until 2024 May, when I turned 20 exactly. So what happened was, I will never forget this day. We went on holiday in Feb, and my dad was like, you worked a job to buy money for clothes. I mean, to spend your money on clothes. And I was like, it makes me happy. And after that, he was like, you'll understand when you're older that there's value in money more than in clothes. So I was like, okay, so I'll make more money with Forex so I can spend that money on clothes. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I do now. I trade Monday to Thursday, but I have a way of trading. So Monday and Tuesday is needs. Wednesday and Thursday is wants. If you don't meet your needs, you can't have your wants. But if you meet both, you can have both. So that's why I came to the conclusion of once a day trading,
Yeah.
4 times a week.
So where you investing your money though? That's my question. Like, what your parents gave you advice? Like, when you made that money, they tell you to like put it in an investment plan or buy a property or start a business or.
Well, to the most of it, my parents have always been like the saving type, like you get money, you save it, you get money, you save it. And when I first started making money, I was stupid. I was blowing it on dumb
Yeah.
things. Like, I see a sneaker, I buy it. I see a t-shirt, I buy it. And then I realized after a good 50K that there's more to life than clothes.
Yeah.
So I started chatting with my cousin.
Mm.
and he's huge in crypto. I'm speaking maybe from 2012, 2014. He's roughly about 7 years younger, not younger, older than me. Anyways, I ask him, where do I start? How do we start? What do I do? Do I just put everything inside?
Yeah.
And then, so he tells me, I trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. So I told him I'm only interested in one. So we started small on Bitcoin. We started 10%, 10%. And it started rocketing. And this is when I was like, okay, wait. Let me slow this down. If I quit spending 10K on clothes a month and put 10K in Bitcoin, I could see the return more. You know what
But
I'm
the
saying?
returns are slow. Like I know, when compared to forex, like I sold my car and I put it in Bitcoin,
Okay.
and yeah, it made money, but it didn't make so much of money, and that was a lot of money.
But I guess in crypto you catch.
So you're only doing Bitcoin,
I'm
nothing
doing
else.
in crypto.
Yeah, what coins?
And I've
What
recently
coins?
hopped onto meme coins.
Which meme coins are you doing?
Mostly the ones that are trending, but I hit that Trump one well.
Yeah.
And
What platform you using to?
Stack Screener and Phantom.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you, meme coins it's not trading. There you're taking your money and you're understanding like I'm risking a 50 year,
Yeah.
it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Because look, you're looking at candles, you're looking at structure, but at the ultimate end of it, it's people who are market capping the liquidity. You have to understand. If someone comes in now and throws 100 in there, and you're sitting there with your 5, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna equivalate. But whereas if the crypto market, how I look at it is, I'm 20 years old. In 20 years' time, I'm gonna be 40 years old. If I see a 10% return on the 70% that I'm putting in every month,
Yeah.
it makes sense to me,
It's,
sort of.
it's better than putting it in a bank.
Look, I have my opinions on that because I don't believe in cash. Like me and cash, we're not friends. Because if I have cash, 5 minutes and it's gone. Whereas if the bank, I can limit myself. You know what I'm saying? Like they can block me from tapping.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying on the deeper effect of that as well.
That's good.
Do you guys trade crypto?
Yeah.
We trade crypto, yeah. Like
No, I-
last year, my biggest trade on Bitcoin was for about 300K. Like
Oh, yeah.
every year you have that one big
That
trade.
one hit trade.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you said you trade gold when we were speaking earlier.
Yeah, gold.
For me, I've never experienced the market where I've seen it shoot so much from 2023 December. And I was a NAS trader and a USD JPY trader and GBP JPY. When I traded gold the first time and I seen how much it paid on those spreads, I was like, okay, let's equivalate how much we can make a day, how much we can make a week, how much we can make a month. Don't get me wrong, NAS pays well.
Yeah.
It's just heavy on psychology. Those weeks are madness. Like when I look at US30, I want to, yo.
Yes, that is deadly. I feel like
There's
I
a US30
respect
man
those
there.
traders, eh?
I feel like,
respect them. Like they know what they're doing.
you can start off with Nasdaq. Nasdaq's the smaller one, and then I feel gold is bigger than Nasdaq, but US that is the beast. Like the end goal should be become a US30 trader.
You see, I've got into a few conversations where some people are saying that you can trade this and you can't trade this. Now, on my side, I know 100% realistically I can trade gold. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I-
So I try to stick with gold.
That's why I also trade gold.
Onto the US30 side, I've seen some insane trades. Like when the market actually creates structure and then goes for liquidity, the
Yes,
drops
it's huge.
are mad. It's just that I could trade it, but number one, I don't like trading charts with high volume. Okay, don't get me wrong, gold is insane. But if you get gold on the hourly or the 4 hourly time frame, you cannot miss that chart because it goes with the trend every day, except Mondays. Mondays, gold creates structure. And Friday, it ends the week by wiping structure. That's what it does.
I feel, well, I have a different perspective. A chart is a chart. If you look at news, for example, let's say we're trading NFP, and if you compare gold, US30, NASDAQ, gold will move, for example, 1,000 pips, NASDAQ will move 1,000 pips, but US30 will always move like 2,000 or 3,000 pips. So let's say you're doing your analysis or setup, whatever strategy you're using, your strategy obviously can be applied to different charts, correct?
Correct.
right? So why wouldn't you want to trade a currency pair? Because you're going to put a lot of time and effort, and it's going to do the same move, but a lot slower, and the volume is a lot less. Same with gold, you're going to do the same thing. The volume is be a bit more, but you're putting the same amount of work in.
100%.
So if you take that mentality and take your strategy and your setup and the same amount of mental work you're putting into that setup and apply it to US 30, for example, you're going to make much more money because you did all this hard work. You're going to enter your trade, enter your trade, right? And the volume is going to be there. But you put the same amount of work, same amount of setup, enter the same trade on US 30, the volume is so big, you're going to make 2 times or 3 times more money.
I do understand what you're saying on that.
So, same amount of work, trade US 30, you make more profits.
I get what you're saying
That's
on
the
that.
end goal.
But what we have to understand at the same time is US 30 and NAS 100, their spreads are not the same as gold. Whereas why I'm saying this is because if you're trading, for instance, me and my community, we only use HFM.
Yes.
And the whole of South Africa knows that no one's going to beat HFM spreads on gold.
Gold is
Yeah.
the best on HFM, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Best.
you can fund $30 and take it to $400 on HFM.
100%.
Where you're jumping into NAS now. Remember this. NAS is a complete different perspective. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Why would you want to risk so much on those lot sizes when you can just go to gold, catch it nicely there under the fair value gap or liquidity sweep and swing the whole thing or day trade it for per se? I do get where you're coming from on the NAS. and
No,
US
you're not
30.
understanding. So, you're looking at it from a broker's perspective, and different brokers have different leverages and different spreads. Don't look at it, take the broker out of it. Look at the chart. Look at the setup. Look at the amount of time you're putting into a setup. So, if you're saying your specific things, fair value gap, tap into fair value gap, boom, take a sell, it's coming down. US 30, tap into a fair value gap, boom, take a sell. But the sell is double the movement.
Catching more pups.
So if you're looking at lot sizes, you need to figure out in your mind what lot size is going to match your gold lot size. Now if you're talking about brokers. So if you open a 0.10 on gold, if you open let's say a 1 lot on US 30, it'll match the 0.10 on gold. So now the lot size doesn't match. So now when you're doing the same setups on both, if the lot sizes match, this one's moving down, you're making X amount of money.
Yeah.
When this one's moving down, it's moving down all the way here.
Like
Doubling.
Same amount of work, same setup, same lot sizes. US 30 is just gonna pay you more because there's more volatility.
yeah, like for example, when I
So
done
that's why I'm saying you start with the Nasdaq, then gold, but the end goal is becoming a US 30 trader because that's the
Ah.
beast.
So one that pays.
Yeah.
You're saying,
like,
Dre?
like what you're saying?
yeah, like I done an analysis for Mo yesterday
Yeah.
on Nasdaq. So
Yeah.
I don't trade Nasdaq. I trade gold now and then, but I'm a full-time US 30 trader. But I done an analysis for Mo yesterday, and we entered a position, a sell, and it was like 2 hours. Yeah, that sell for it fell 4,000 pips, 400 points.
Yeah.
You know, it's wild, bro. You get big movements. Yeah.
But when that movement happens, when you look at US 30, it'll fall like 8,000 pips. So you know what I mean? Like you put a 1 lot on US 30, I mean on Nasdaq. Why put it on Nasdaq when you put a 1 lot on US 30? Same setup, but one's a double the volume.
Well, I guess it's also on a trader's preference. Like some people just like trading gold, US 30, NAS. Just like how they feel the market move.
It
Yes,
also works
yes,
with your
yes.
plan.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
as a trader, you need to understand that without a daily target or a weekly target, you're just chasing numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And realistically, look, I'm not saying you won't get there. There's some people turning different numbers every day. But I think consistency or profitability is being able to turn the same amount every day. And when you lose the same amount every day.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Now, onto the US 30 side, I think US 30 is for experienced traders. Like you said, you come
That's
from
the
here
end goal.
to here, to year.
It's the beast.
But I feel like also gold is criminally underrated because gold is not an easy chart to trade.
No,
Most people fail at trading
It's
gold.
also a beast. Gold is deadly.
If you master the 15-minute and the 1 hour on gold, I promise you, you only need 2 trades a week because that chart just flows. Now, if you're trying to do that with US 30, the psychology effect on that's going to be a bit, you know what I'm saying? Because the market goes where gold is going, and then
Yeah.
US 30 is for pros. Like we have our assistant manager over here.
We're short, brother.
He's the best US 30 trader I know.
I'm hearing everyone say that.
I
so-
used to be a US 30 trader, and then I moved over to gold, but his entries are crazy, bro.
Snipers.
Yeah. Like okay, previously, like last year and whatever it is, when we were sending signals, like our groups, we used to send signals like out of 10 trades, we let like maybe 3 stop losses or whatever. He used to go like the whole month, no stop losses, but he'll only send like maybe 1 signal a day. We used to,
That's exactly what I
but
showed
that
you
one
earlier.
signal,
It's going
like
like,
everybody's waiting for that one signal.
Minimum 1,000 pops, bro.
Yeah.
100 points minimum on a trade.
Yeah.
That's exactly
his,
what I was
his
telling you
TP1 is
earlier.
is 1,000 pips.
Originally, I'm known in my community as the gold merchant because I trade, like I was telling you, I trade once a day, 4 times a week, right?
Right.
From December 1st until you could say the end of January, I've averaged 6 losses and 26 wins on gold.
You showed me that on your phone. I saw that earlier on.
Now, that's a student who joined like the last week of December or the middle of December. What people don't understand is if you master gold and you follow your trading strategy or your daily plan, 25 wins cannot give you anything less than 40,000 Rand on gold. Understand this?
Yeah.
You can start with 1,000 Rand or 2,000 Rand. You grow that money till there. Whereas if I have to put the same money on US 30, I'll blow instantly. It's like that chart doesn't respect me. It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I read Bismillah before gold, good US 30.
Done.
It's too volatile.
And I think
Yeah.
also what I've learned over
But
the
when
time
you make money, you make big money.
with gold and NAS is they work with time movement. It's not just market structure, that chart, or technical analysis. At certain times in the day, those charts peak.
Yeah.
I don't know,
what
maybe
you're
you tell me 430, US 30. If you catch that move for the day, you don't have to trade again.
Yeah, New York Open.
Yeah. US 30 every day is like a news event for New York Open.
Yeah.
FAYAAZ, quick question before we end of here. What's your plan for the next year and a half, and the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
It's an interesting question because at the moment, I've started a boot camp, and my intention for 2025 is to turn 50 traders into myself. Exactly myself. I'm basically paving the road for them the way I would have wanted it to be paved for me.
Yeah.
Now, the bootcamp's already started. I started it in Jan. And I basically told these people that we shouldn't be here to understand that we're going to be rich one day. You know what I'm saying? Because then the market's already going to be against you always. Because when you enter, that's on your mindset.
Yeah.
I told them, take my hand and let me show you what you can be instead of someone forcing you to be something.
Understand. Yeah.
Because I believe solely that you can only unlock your full potential. And I only realized that at 17, which was too late from my own perspective. So for the next 3 years, I would love to see FGFX up amongst the names with the largest community in South Africa.
Like FX WarRoom.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. At the moment, in a year, I've got the group to almost 600 or 700 people.
That's good, bro.
That's good.
Nice
And
times.
we're building a vibrant community this year. I
Nice
didn't
start,
do this
nice
last year where I was letting my clients interact with each other. And this year I'm letting them meet each other, help each other trade, give each other signals, get along with each other so you can help each other progress.
Yeah.
Community
And-
is important.
That's the most important. I don't have a vision for 5 years or 10 years. Personally, I do with it myself, with my career, etc. But for my FGFX side, I just want to see this community grow as the largest community in South Africa. And let me tell you, Cape Town, next month I will be there.
Oh yeah.
Durban, I will be there in May for my birthday month. And then we're taking things all over the garden route because I see there's a lot of interesting people there who don't have the knowledge in the market. I met some interesting people in Jeffreys Bay. I met some interesting people in St. Francis. And I met some interesting people in George. And none of them have that leadership to help them grow as a trader. But we're coming. Trust me, give me time. Let me turn more. We're coming.
Oh, well done, bro. All the best to you.
Best
Yeah,
man,
bro.
yeah.
Thank
When-
you guys for having me.
Anytime
thank
you're in
you.
KZN,
And I
anytime
hope
you're in
to see you guys in
KZN,
Durban soon.
Yeah,
anytime you're in
definitely.
KZN, you let anything or you need anything, hit us up.
Deep sea
That's
fishing, eh?
yeah.
I'll take you to the
You're not the
Everyone
first person.
says that. Everyone says that.
Everybody says, as soon as you come into KZN, we're going fishing with the FX WarRoom.
Yeah, no, because we go to Durban and everyone's like harbor fishing. We want to go out.
Yeah.
So I see you the guys.
Yeah.
So definitely me
Okay,
and
cool.
Langa are coming soon. Don't
Okay,
worry.
yeah.
Sweet, brother.
Cool. Thanks for us. Thanks for joining us.
Like
Thanks
a
for
man.
taking time.
Guys.
Everything of the best for your future
Really
goals.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
shut up, man.
And we'll speak to you the next time.
Cool.
Cool.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, you like, and leave a comment. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.
Need
That's
to
a
shoot
wrap.
film quality content creators.
Brought to you by HF Markets.